Hello, hello. Welcome to Bad Points. I have noticed, and I don't think I'm imagining it, but I've noticed that people in America, both citizens and invaders, that I have interacted with in the Dallas Fort Worth area seem to be a little more forgiving, kind, slow to anger. Not in every case, obviously. There's always outliers. But in general, when I go out and about around strangers, they seem to be acting better. They seem to be acting better. They seem to be treating each other with a little more compassion, I guess is the right word. And I don't know exactly what could be causing that, but I feel as though a big factor is the fact that we do have a global awakening. We do have a populist movement all over the West. In Japan, too. There's a populist movement in Japan. They're trying to keep all the non Japanese out, which is what you're supposed to do. If you have a country full of Japanese people, more people are supposed to be added to that country via a Japanese male and a Japanese female starting a family and reproducing. That's how you make more Japanese people. If you have two children, you have replaced the mother and the father when they pass away with two additional Japanese people. If you have three, you're at plus one. If you have four, you're at plus two. You can see where this goes. That's how you're supposed to get more Japanese people. So they know that. The citizens know that. So they are trying to keep the non-Japanese out because when non-Japanese come in, you change the country into something else. So they are doing that. But all over the West, you've got populist uprisings as well. Obviously, Ireland is having a massive countrywide protest, blocking major roads, protesting their tyrannical government, which is controlled by the satanic pedophiles, by the way. Some people think our government are the satanic pedophiles, but no, it is Western governments all over Europe, Canada, even Mexico. They're controlled by the satanic pedophiles now. But people are realizing that, and I think we're starting to understand that the purple haired feminist, who I believe is terrible, and the conservative plumber, who thinks completely differently than the feminist, although they may be at odds, they are not each other's greatest enemy. The greatest enemy is the government that is doing the things that cause our problems. A feminist, to me, a lone individual feminist, not the entire movement, but the lone individual leftist feminist and everything, all that comes with that. Killing babies is good. Cutting off little boys' privates is compassionate. All that crazy stuff, that is very annoying. I don't like it. I wish they would stop trying to destroy my country, destroy civilization, and harm people. But they're not nearly as consequential as the government that controls the laws. That's the real enemy. And I think people are understanding that and kind of redirecting their ire away from the other citizens with political differences, different opinions, different views, and redirecting that towards our true enemy, which is the government. More specifically, the people who are controlling our government and have been controlling our government for a long time. So I think that's a positive byproduct of the global takeover of Satanists. That's a positive thing. I think that's good. I think we should keep focusing on that. Keep trying to get along with your fellow citizen, even the Marxists, even the feminists, the leftists. Try to get along with them, have conversations with them, because those are not the people that are destroying our lives. They may be, some of them haven't figured it out yet, and they are still backing the government, but I think most people understand that there's a problem here, because the people on the right naturally do not trust the government. They know what government is. They know what government becomes. They know that a big government is never a good thing for citizens. But the people on the left, they're starting to see all the things the government is doing as well, including the war in Iran, which is destroying civilian infrastructure, killing civilians, killing children. We are killing children in this war. So the people on the left are finally, thank God, thank you, are finally turning against the satanic pedophiles in our government. Definitely a good thing. I like that. One thing I don't understand at all is why we're still paying taxes to our federal government. Can anyone explain to me why we would do that? They lose hundreds of billions of dollars a year. And when I say lose it, I mean it disappears for some time, then it goes back to the satanic pedophiles. That's what I mean by losing it. And why would we give them our money just so that they can filter it back to themselves, when we could keep our own money and help our own community in whatever way we deem necessary? If you're a crazy leftist, you can give money to your local gay chapter, and you can help them buy butt plugs or whatever they do with their money. Condoms, I hope. Although I don't think many people in the LGBTQ C plus GUI cult use condoms, based on what I've heard. But you can give money to them. If you're a decent person, you can give money to the people in the community that are going under hardships. Maybe they have medical issues. Maybe they can't pay their rent, whatever. You have money to build houses locally. It's just a better system when we keep our money. Now, don't get me wrong. If we controlled our government and they were, they're all Christians, great people, then they would do a better job. They'd be better stewards of our money. But that is absolutely not even close to the situation we're in. They don't deserve a penny of our money. They literally abduct, torture, rape, and murder, and eat children. You think they're going to do good stuff with your money? We've already seen that they don't. But you can just logically conclude that murdering rapists are not going to use your money in a good way. They're not good people. They're as evil as you can possibly get. So why are we giving them our money? We're not just giving them like 10% of our income. We're giving them closer to 40%. That seems like a really big issue. If we don't give them our money anymore, we have money. I don't know how much more simple I can put it. If we don't give them our money, we have more money. Don't you want money? Don't you think your life would be better if you kept your money? I don't really understand the argument there. And people say, well, what about Medicare? If you have money, you don't need Medicare. You have money. If the government had nothing to do with medical insurance, we could get our own private insurance, and it would be cheaper and better, because insurance companies would be competing against each other. They would not be competing with the federal government, which has basically unlimited funds. Everything in our lives would be better if we stopped paying taxes. Of course, the problem is, if only you stop paying taxes, you will go to prison. But if we can get like 25% of the country to stop paying, they will see there's a problem, because they can't put 25% of the country in prison. We all have to stop paying taxes together. We all win. Why do we have to convince people to stop paying taxes? Why is that a difficult thing to do? Like, we have to beg people to keep their money? Please keep your money. Please don't donate to the satanic pedophiles that are abducting children and murdering them. What's the what's a valid argument for wanting to give your money to the most evil people on the planet? I haven't heard it. I don't think there is one. I truly don't believe there is one. But we're turning a corner as citizens. We're starting to wake up. We're starting to pay attention to things. Operation Artichoke was declassified. We know for a fact that our government has been intentionally poisoning us through food, water, vaccines, air quality. They've been doing it on purpose. If you think that's crazy, first of all, you're nuts for thinking that's nuts because they are satanic pedophiles. Why wouldn't they poison us? But then you don't understand how a large government that wants to protect itself and have advantages over everyone else, you don't understand how that works. They don't want us to be strong. They don't want us to be healthy. They don't want us to have money because if we were those things, we'd be a threat to them. It's almost like some people want to be slaves, which is actually a, a human feature. In the Bible, there are people that preferred having someone tell them what to do, right? The the Jews, ancient Jews, they wanted a king. They wanted one. They preferred that. So that's a thing that humans do. They prefer being slave. I'd rather be a comfortable slave. I'd rather be a slave with the NFL to watch than a free person who has to come up with my own entertainment. That's how people think. They really think that. I want to talk a little bit about cats. Now that seems random, but it is my show. I do own this show. I don't even take sponsorship money. Do you know how many people have offered to sponsor my show? It's a big number. It's a very big number. Let's just say it has a zero in it. Okay. It's got a zero in it. So it's got to be over 9, right? Or under 1. Yeah, I don't take sponsorship money. Not yet. Not yet. But at any rate, I have 2 cats. 2 cats. One is an older cat, really not sure the age, 8 maybe, something like that. The other one is under 1 year old, getting big though. He's a chunky fella. And in general, I enjoy having cats. They do kill they kill bugs, they kill mice, they kill all sorts of little critters around the house that you do not want to take over your house. They're very proficient killers. They're good at it. They enjoy doing it. Comes natural to them. One thing I don't like is the damn litter box because it smells bad and it's messy. There's litter because after they poop in the litter box and make a terrible smell, they try to cover it up. And in the process, they throw litter all over the ground, which we step on, and it's not comfortable. But my main thing is, why are you pooping in the litter box when you can go outside and poop? There's a lot of land outside. You can poop anywhere, but you want to do it in this box. It's very strange. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the concept of the litter box. But then, if you don't have a litter box, they poop on the ground in your house, as opposed to going outside. As if, for some reason, their instinct is that they're supposed to have a box in the house they can poop in with a very specific substance in it. And if it's not there, if they've never seen a litter box, they think to themselves, well, I guess I'll poop on the floor instead of going outside because there's not a mysterious box sitting around for me to poop in. Not a fan of that. Dogs, don't really have a whole lot of major complaints about dogs. They do tend to bark at night when people are trying to go to sleep, but you can just put a little buzz collar on them that buzzes a little bit and alerts them that when they bark, they don't like it. It doesn't hurt them, but they don't like it. So it discourages barking. But aside from that, I really don't have any major issues with dogs. I'm a big dog fan. I think is it Indians that hate dogs and kill them? Is it Muslims? Is it both? I know a lot of third world countries hate dogs. They think they're filthy, disgusting creatures with no value, no worth. And of course, we're importing them into our country. So, back in the day when you could let your dog kind of wander your front yard, now they might get shot because the satanic pedophiles are bringing them into our country and on purpose to destroy it. They want to destroy our country. They'll do whatever they can to make that happen, including bringing in people who will destroy it for them. And then they pretend like they're going to deport them, and then they don't. And then they try to give them amnesty. And then we say, no, don't do that. And then they do it anyway. So the damage will be permanent. And then it's up to us to clean it up again. One more time. Why are we paying taxes? I can't figure out why we're paying taxes. That's ridiculous to me. We don't have to. If we all agreed to stop, they couldn't do anything about it. It's really sad that Americans, the American tradition is rugged individualism. We control our lives. We don't listen to our government listens to us. But it seems like at some point, people forgot that not only do we have the power, but the citizens of every country ever have the power. Even if you had a king, you've got the king of a nation, one king, 100,000 citizens in the kingdom. If the king was taxing people 50% of their income and all 100,000 people decided we're not paying it, the king has to make changes. It's not going to work out for the king. The people have the power. The mob has the power. Communists understand that. We should understand that as well. But we don't. And I'm not sure when that changed. Probably had something to do with pushing abortion so that we murder our babies before they get to grow up, poisoning our citizens with vaccines and toxic medications and toxic food and toxic water and toxic air, while simultaneously bringing in people from other countries who just want free stuff. That's probably what happened. It's not too late. We can make a comeback. Like I said earlier, we are making a comeback. It's just very slow, probably too slow. I think it's great that people are sharing information about the truth of Judaism because our government is controlled. Our country, our businesses, our government, and our biggest businesses, big tech, entertainment, news, prominently controlled by Jews. I think getting that information out there is opening a door for people to look into the history of World War II, World War I, these wars, what life was like before them, why they happened, and what happened after them. And they're starting to see patterns like, oh, these world wars are not good guy versus bad guy. These world wars are to destroy nations, to kill the strongest, most capable men in the nations, and then for these multinational organizations to pop up and say, hey, world war is bad. We're going to create something called the United Nations, and we're all going to get together and make sure nothing bad happens. Well, all that is a government that controls multiple nations. Therefore, the nations no longer control themselves. It's a big scam. Everything's a scam. That's why I say we should only vote for actual Christians who want to move America back in the direction of what it used to be. Again, individualism, individual families, you govern your family. You got 50 families in a neighborhood. They're all strong families. They talk to each other. They create a community. That community interfaces with the community next door. You see where this is going? We don't need government. We keep our own money, no taxes. And we build our own lives the way we would like to build our lives. as opposed to the government destroying our lives and telling us it's a good thing. It's really frustrating. I'm going to be honest. It's frustrating seeing people care more about the NFL and the NBA and Bad Bunny and Taylor Swift than they care about existence, actual existence on the planet. Very frustrating. Not really sure how to break that spell. What I'm hoping is that the entertainment industry completely collapses and people have to go back to local entertainment, local musicians, local athletics, go back to church, do church events, which I'm failing at. I grew up in churches. I didn't really like them. And I'm talking about churches that my family was really into. I went to my grandpa's church and he was the pastor. So it doesn't get much better than that, you would think. And I went to churches that my parents helped to start and they were in the praise and worship team. And I don't know if they were like the church just wasn't for me or if it's more specifically me myself. I don't like crowds. I don't like a lot of people. I don't like shallow conversations. I don't like safe conversations. You kind of have to have safe conversations at church or else you'll be disruptive. People won't want you there. I'm still looking though. Still looking for a good church. But yeah, I'm hoping things go back to that direction. And I think it is necessary for things like Hollywood to collapse. It's necessary for the music industry to collapse. And they would collapse if we would stop indulging them, stop going to these pop star shows, stop going to NFL games, stop watching the NBA. They would be forced to either change, bend to our will, start pushing the things that we believe in, or they would just go away, which would really be the best case scenario, in my opinion. I think that if you focus on your friends and your family and doing things locally, visiting local restaurants, not national chains, like a restaurant you can only find in your town or the town next to you, support that kind of stuff, give them your money, build them up, make that the place that you go meet with your friends at. It starts with you and then your family and then your community, your local businesses, right? You build that up and then you take the power away from the satanic pedophiles in Hollywood or the music industry or professional sports. It's really not that big of I mean, to me personally, it's not a sacrifice at all because we know that those entities are evil. They're not better than us. They're not more entertaining than us. I mean, you can be entertained playing a board game or a card game with your friends. You don't need a fireworks show on a football field with 80,000 people in the stadium to be entertained. That's just a spectacle. It enthralls us because it took a lot of coordination and it seems like a lot of people are interested in it. Therefore, it must be interesting. That must be a good thing to watch. I'm going to watch it. But ultimately, it's all satanic. That's kind of my main point. What else? I have had some people recently ask me if I'm still playing music, and I appreciate them inquiring to that. I will say that I'm writing music still, not as much as I used to, but I'm still writing from time to time. I'm not nearly as passionate about it as I was in 29. I mean, going back to I guess 2004 when I started writing, I was pretty passionate about it all the way up to 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. It was about 2024 where I started realizing, hey, playing shows really is not that fun. There's the owners of the venues, like the bars and the listening rooms, the type of venues I would play. Oftentimes, they're not really good at at that aspect of the business, at booking shows, supporting the shows, promoting the shows, paying people to play shows. Even if you bring 10 people, they're still only going to give you $50, or however much it is. It's like, damn, I brought 10 people. One of them alone has spent $80 tonight. Can I get 100? But that's just a business thing, right? I understand. I just don't think I felt like I was losing every time during the business exchanges. So it wasn't good monetarily. I wasn't coming out on top I wasn't making money from it really. Recording songs is extremely fun. You write it, you fine tune it. It's great. You go in, you record it, you hear it get fleshed out. It's a full song now with a full band. That's a that's a great feeling. It's really fun, but it does cost money. It's not free. You have to pay other musicians, you have to pay for the studio time, you have to pay for the producer to run the studio equipment. And furthermore, the other musicians that I've met some really, really great people playing music. Some of the better people I've ever met, to be honest with you. But it seems like for every one good person you meet in the music scenes, you'll meet two of them that you really don't want to talk to ever for any reason at all. And that's not a good ratio. Ultimately, what it turns into, you're playing shows, you're going to other people's shows, and you keep running into these people. And again, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Crappy people to every one good person. So you end up hanging out with people that you shouldn't be hanging out with that are kind of crazy. To be honest with you, I played one of the probably last 10 shows I played. Several of the musicians were one of the musicians was a man in like a halter top with a bow in his hair or something, and he said he was a woman and he was going in the women's restroom. I said, "Hey, why is he going to the women's restroom?" And one of the other musicians said, "Oh no, she's trans." I mean, what do you do with that? If you want to do the right thing, you have to disrupt the show. You have to go in there and tell that man, "Hey, get out of the restroom, you pervert. Get out of the women's restroom." Then you're probably going to fight. You're going to beat the shit out of somebody, out of a pervert. And then you're the bad guy for trying to help women. So, just a pretty toxic environment in the music scene, in my experience. This is in Texas. Texas is not the most crazy state as far as leftism is concerned, but there were a lot of musicians that were just, I don't know any other way to put it other than they seemed really nuts, and not in a fun way, but in a very destructive way. I got tired of being around those types of people, but I do still write. I'm working on a couple of songs right now. I'll probably record them. I'll probably record songs at a much slower rate, like maybe record a new song every couple of months, and then ultimately release an album every 2 to 3 years. I think that's more reasonable. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen with the economy. I don't know if musicians are going to start charging more, charging less. No idea. So I can't really speak to how quickly I'm going to get albums out, but I'm still writing. I'm kind of done with the game, at least right now. Maybe if the game changes, if we do deport 30 million people and stop giving money to, you know, organizations that murder babies and chop off little boys' penises, and everyone starts realizing that's over now. I'm going to act right. That might change the situation a little bit. But as of right now, it just doesn't make sense to go out there and play shows. And furthermore, a lot of my songs are just about emotions, losing someone, drinking too much, being sad, being depressed. I have a lot of songs about being depressed. And I don't really like listening to music these days unless it's in some way pertaining to God directly. Either mentions God, singing directly about God. A song with real meaning, not just entertainment. And it seems like most people just want to write entertainment songs because they're looking for a hit, and that doesn't do much for me anymore. And I feel good about that, quite frankly. Kind of I view listening to songs about, you know, going to a club and dancing with a girl. I view that as kind of pointless. It's not really doing anything for me personally. I don't see how it helps anyone else. It's just pure entertainment. And if you want to do that, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not calling you a bad person for it. I'm just saying, me personally, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't help me any. It doesn't make me feel good. And apparently there's a lot of new artists kind of blowing up right now. I know it's always the case, but there's some new artists that are getting real big in the circles I used to run in. And it's the same thing. They're just singing about kind of stuff that doesn't matter. So I don't even know. I don't know who they are. I don't know what the popular songs are anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a good feeling to know that I'm disconnected from a satanic society. It makes me feel free. I'm free from it. I'm no longer controlled by it. When I started bodybuilding, I stopped getting. I ended the food addiction. People have a food addiction. They eat for taste. They want to taste good. That's kind of their main priority. If it happens to be healthy, that's an added bonus, but they don't care about that. When I was bodybuilding, I was forced to eat healthy because I had to eat so much food. If you're eating 15,000 calories a day, there's a big difference in 15,000 calories worth of grilled chicken and steak, rice, broccoli, and 15,000 calories worth of hamburgers. You can't do that. It's very unhealthy. You'll get fat. It's bad for your heart, all that crap. So I broke my food addiction, and now I'm breaking my entertainment addiction. I still get plenty of entertainment. It's just that I don't have to get that useless crap, the useless secular emotional garbage, right? And that's just me. I know that's hard. That's a very hard addiction to break for people. And most people don't even want to break it. They're okay wasting their time. I think you should at least consider it. Consider what's the most important things in life. Like, definitely the most important things, like God, like going to heaven, like avoiding hell, like your family, doing the right thing. I think those types of songs are more healthy for your mind and spirit, for your heart. I think people should focus on that a little bit more. Again, you don't have to. You're not a bad person if you like pointless songs. It's entertainment. People like entertainment. But at least consider it. Consider what you're listening to. People consider all the time what they eat. People say, be careful what you eat. It's going to affect your body. Well, be careful what you listen to because that affects you as well. That's what you got. If you listen to something all day long, your mind is on that thing. So these people that are habitually depressed, they're always complaining about, I'm not happy, I'm sad, I can't get over this, I can't get over that. And they listen to songs about that stuff. Yeah, it might make them feel good in the moment, but the next day, that's what they're thinking about again because that's what they're putting into their mind. You don't want to put garbage in your mind because your mind will become garbage. You don't want to put garbage in your mouth because your body will become garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. Not a good situation. Kind of like the Iran war, am I right? Not a good situation. We don't have to do that either, but we don't control our government once again. I keep going back. My mind all day long goes back to why are we paying taxes? I can't get over it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's kind of what I think about all the time because it makes no sense. One, it's a pretty big deal. Why would you do something that hurts you and makes no sense? And two, we're giving up our money to fund the most evil people in mankind. By far the most evil people of mankind. We're giving them our money. I guess in closing, please consider talking to your friends about not paying taxes. That doesn't mean y'all should stop, but get them convinced that it's a bad idea, and then you can all go online and start convincing other people. You can all they can go to their friends who you don't know, and they can convince them. Like, hey, we should try to get people on board with this no taxation thing. It's very important. If we want to fix our lives and fix our country, it's not going to happen by paying more taxes. Obviously, all that they just use it against us. It'd be like if there's a bunch of people outside with clubs and they're beating down your door to get in there and kill you with their clubs. And then you give them guns. And now you don't have guns. And now the people trying to break down your door and kill you do have guns. Why would you do that? Why would we give our government our money? We can buy things with money. We can build things with money. We can start businesses with money. We can help people with money. But then you give it to your government and they do nothing but destroy you with it. It makes no sense. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. I think it's unreasonable to pay taxes to these people. So please consider that. Please at least spend some time thinking about it, thinking about a world or a country at least where you make $1,000 and you get to keep all of it. And then you can do whatever you want with that $1,000. You don't have to give 200 of it to the government. You don't have to give whatever the number is, 400 of it to the government, leaving you with $600. You want to keep all of your money so that you can do what you want with your money. You can help your neighbors with your money. You can help yourself with your money. Again, you can start a business and provide 10, 20, 30 jobs with your money. We can build our own economy. It's not crazy. You just haven't thought about it. Some of you. Some of you are like me. That's all you think about. Why the hell are we paying taxes? Makes no sense. Good Lord. The whole situation with not only our government, but governments all over the West is pure insanity. It's pure insanity. Makes no sense. We have power. Why don't we use it? We got people in our government murdering, raping, and torturing kids and eating them. Why are we letting that happen? Hey, to be honest, if you're interested in these things, taking back our power, ending taxation, demanding change in our government, reach out to me. Go ahead, DM me. Bad Points Show, all one word, on X and on Instagram and on TikTok, but I have trouble getting into my TikTok for some reason. TikTok's just kind of sucks, to be honest with you. And I'm at Bad Points Show on YouTube as well, but I'm not going to really check those messages. So yeah, DM me if you're interested in this stuff, fighting back against our government. Maybe we can get something going, or at least you can come on the show. We can talk about it. That's not a bad start, just discussing things, getting more people interested in it. But we got to do something. We got to do something. We can't do nothing. Like when a ship is sinking, you can start bailing water out, or you can just watch it flood the boat. The boat's going to go under. You're going to be floating around in the middle of the ocean. You'll eventually drown or die of dehydration. You can't do nothing. Now, I know I made some bad points, but I made some good ones too. Y'all be good.